Hey everybody, welcome back to my garden. We are located in west central Minnesota if you are new here. This is probably my fourth garden tour of the year. We obviously have a short season here in Minnesota, and my garden isn't extremely exotic by any means. I have a 30 by 30 plot here, and I definitely do not use all of my space effectively. Every year that I garden, I have lists in my head for next year of how I'm gonna do more, plant more. I do have two very small children, so these first few years here on the farm that I've gardened here has been very simple, easy to maintain, and not a whole lot for preserving, just mostly for eating fresh. So that's what you'll see today. I did not harvest this morning, so there are quite a few things that I need to harvest, so that'll be fun. Usually I harvest before I record these, so that'll be a little bit of a change. I will say it is August, which means this Minnesota girl is sick of the heat and the humidity, so my garden is looking pretty weedy and wild right now. I do mulch pretty heavily and that helps, but I don't pick a whole lot of weeds anymore, especially like dandelions and stuff. I just kind of let those go. But so it's looking a little rough in some areas, but it's still getting me food. Also with the weeds and the heat and the humidity just come with the feeling of I want to still garden, but I'm kind of over it for the year, which is so silly because our garden season is so short here. You would think I'd have a little bit more stamina than most people, but like I said, I have two small kids. We're always constantly adding and changing things to our little homestead right now, and it's just a lot. Meanwhile, still trying to enjoy summer. So, I'm passionate about the garden still, but I've hit that stage where I'm just like, we'll just let it go. We also have had a lot of storms, which has made nice because I haven't hardly had to water my garden this year, but it's been sad because if you've been here, you remember I had two very large sunflowers right there. They'd probably be at least 13 feet tall by now and blooming probably, but two individual storms took out each, so that's a bummer. I still have one pretty tall one left, but it's not as big and it's not gonna be not as pretty as the other ones would have been. So I will take you guys around to my garden and show you what I got, and show you what I've kind of just forgotten about or let go for the year. This garden tour is gonna be very anticlimactic in some ways, but in others cool because there's more harvest. So let's go take a look. As usual, we'll start over here in this corner. First I want to show you this little guy. He's new since the last garden tour. This is a sweet potato that had sprouted in my pantry, and I decided to throw it in a pot and see how big the vine can get before the frost kills it. So I have no intentions of ever getting sweet potatoes in my garden, but I thought it would be cool. Sweet potato vines are so pretty, so we'll see what that little guy does. He's grown so much already since I've transplanted him. But my green beans are not doing as well as they did last year as far as continually producing, and that could be on me too. I know bush beans aren't really necessarily great for continual harvesting, but that's not been my experience in the past. But that's kind of been my experience this year, honestly. But I've not been harvesting near as much or as often as I did last year. So there's definitely some that I need to harvest now, but a lot of them have petered out quite a bit, I think. Yeah, I definitely need to come through and harvest again. I did freeze some this year just to see how I like it. I'd never preserved any last year. We just ate fresh. So, but I think next year my plan is to grow a pretty good section of bush beans again. But then I think I'm going to plant pole beans. I've never done that. I think I'm going to do that. So we'll have pole beans for fresh eating, and then a significant amount of bush beans for preserving. I think I will do that next year. I think these plants are, I don't know, they're still flowering a little bit. Maybe we'll get a second wave here. My patty pans are looking so beautiful. Look at that. They're massive. That's probably 3.5 foot in diameter. I've already picked quite a few patty pans off these plants. This one I think I might have let get too big. I was trying to see, the package said 1 to 3 inches. And I know squash you can just, oh, hello bumblebee. Squash you can just let go and they'll do whatever. But I decided to let one get bigger than the package suggested, just to see if it changed much. So cute! I love these guys. It's about 3 inches. I have very tiny hands, so. There's a couple more on there, but go put that in the harvest basket. All right, here's some more patty pans. They get smaller as we go down here, but I think the peas choked up their sun a little bit. Here's another one. Oh, it's still pretty small yet. Oh, the other one still felt pretty tender. That was my concern letting them get bigger, is that they weren't going to be tender. So we'll save the other one until it gets bigger. But this one's fairly big again. Maybe we'll do this one. Come off so nice too. Another one. These are so delicious to just roast with zucchini. So good. All right. Here's some more little ones coming in. I love these patty pans. I'm definitely growing these again. And I think I'm also going to add yellow summer squash to my list of squash to grow. I just love squash so much. I could have it every single day. I finally ripped out my peas. They were looking pretty crispy, and they were just blocking some shade, and I don't know, just thought I'd get them out of here. I don't know if this is a milkweed or not, but I have left it all year long. I suppose there's a way to find out, huh? Oh yeah, definitely milkweed. I like milkweed, so I'm gonna leave that. Some zucchinis, some dill. Harvested a lot of my dill. I've been making refrigerator pickles, and it's been an interesting process compared to last year. I'm trying to use some dill leaves because I feel like that's the best flavor, but I'm also using some dill flowers. I've never done that before. So there's another little sunflower. It's trying. Another baby zucchini. This wall of zucchini is just not going to do a whole lot for me this year, I don't think. Alright, here's some more cucumbers. These are planted later. I haven't got any cucumbers off it yet, but looks like I need to come in and harvest at least that one. Some more cucumbers. Here's my other sunflower. This guy's probably 10 foot high. Not as big, but it doesn't have all the little baby heads. Well, maybe it does. Those aren't gonna really bloom though. But it's got a couple heads at the top. I don't know what color this is gonna be. I think this is just gonna be a regular sunflower. The other ones were gonna be purple. Some more cucumbers. They haven't even started vining yet, so. My zinnias. Now that I ripped these peas out, you can see my zinnias blooming. These ones are obviously orange, but I think this one is going to be purple. Do I have purple zinnias in here? I think it was a mixed package, so that's cool. Zucchini over here. I think this is where I harvested off a couple of my zucchinis so far. But here's where I ran into an issue last year, and I'm seeing it again. Over here. That one right there, it's yellow already, which means it's not going to produce, but so is that little one. They haven't even opened their flowers yet, so how can they not be pollinated yet? But even this little guy is yellow. So I think I need to throw some horse manure water on them. And this guy didn't get fertilized all the way. That's why he's turned yellow at the end there, is he didn't get all the way fertilized. But I could still probably, I've never eaten an a not well fertilized zucchini. I wonder if this would still taste good. But I think I'm gonna throw some horse manure water on here. I never replanted these zucchinis because I was just sick of it. Our chipmunk population has drastically went down though, so that's cool. No zucchini on that one yet. I have officially given up on my green stock for the year. I've not tried to harvest anything. I've just let it all go. Obviously I have some of these lettuces, but they're already starting to bolt, and I'm not feeling it this year. It's not the green stock's fault, it's the poor soil's fault. So I think next year, I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't know what my plan is yet. I love the green stock, but I'm feeling very defeated with it this year. My strawberries are starting again. I gotta go set this down. These plants aren't doing as well as the other ones. But my peppers, now that I've figured out my pepper debacle, I was harvesting the wrong variety, and so I took out some of my big Great Marconis. So hopefully we have time for them to get big again. But they're looking good. These guys got a long ways to go yet though. But my plants are covered. That one's covered too. I don't know if you can see them all under there. There's probably 10 on that plant. And then over here are my jalapenos. I just heavily harvested off these plants, so there's nothing on these guys. A bunch of little babies, but these ones got a few okay sized ones, but this is my puny plant, so I love peppers. My basil. I've been picking off this, but the bugs have too, and we got hail the other day, and I think they got a little bit of that, but definitely some bug damage. I'm just gonna whack the tops off this. But looking rough. So is this one. This one's looking rough too, not as bushy as I'd like. Bushier than the last couple years though. And again, I was so excited about lemon basil this year. That's what this is. That's the variety, is lemon basil, but because I love lemon basil tea. But since I have discovered my new sparkling water that I make, I'm not honestly as big of a fan with the lemon basil as I was. So I don't know that I'm going to grow much of this next year. I think I want to put my focus more on the culinary herbs that I use a lot, which are oregano and thyme, which I have never grown. I've tried to grow oregano from seed, but I did not do good. So I think I'm just going to get some starts from the store next year, but I'll probably grow some basil, but not much, I don't think. Maybe I'll try a couple different varieties for culinary use, but we'll see. All right. Let's go down this middle section here. Got some strawberries. I've already harvested a couple strawberries in this last wave. These runners are crazy. But I don't know what's going on. Is this, if they're not fertilized well too? Somebody tell me. That's what happens. They kind of curl in on themselves. Because there's a lot of butt cheek looking ones. Is that what's happening to my strawberries? Somebody tell me. I don't know. These cucumbers have been doing so well for me. Now I just got to remember to go back and harvest all of these. I've probably harvested about 10 cucumbers already this year. It's not this variety, but my other variety has been the best tasting cucumbers I have ever had before. Look at that wildness. I'm waiting for this to catch fungus because it's so thick. I think I may have overdone it on the hills. Oh my gosh. This one was hidden. Again, I have small hands, but that's a big cucumber. Well, it's not that bad. goodness. This is the variety that I really like over here. This is Macklemore, I think it's called. But this is giving me a lot of cucumbers so far. That vine's out that way quite a bit. But there's another one I'm going to pick. And it's already pretty hot, so I'm going to go in and soak these in cold water. We'll put these in my basket quick, though. I don't remember if I had any more over here that I had to harvest. Sorry, bees, I don't mean to disturb you. Here we go. Alright. This is where my sunflowers were, right here. As you can tell, they're kind of bare spots now. And those flowers doing okay. I finally pulled on my radishes, which I left this one in here. I knew about this. This is a radish that went to seed. And these are little pods, and apparently these are edible. Apparently they're supposed to be really good. So if you let your radishes go to seed, I don't have any idea when you should eat these, if they get bigger or if you want to eat them small like this. I'm not sure. It's kind of fell over, but yeah, I thought I'd just leave it just to see what happens. All right, let's go over here. This is where my weed bed. I think I also, yeah, I put the other I had a tiny other sweet potato vine, and I put this in here, and that's leafed out pretty good, but this one was really small. Got one green onion, two green onion. Oh, there's another one sprouting. Now they're going to germinate. This is my wild and wonderful flower bed. Oh, a sunflower. Little baby sunflower starting. I'll get some purple ones in here, but they won't be as big. Lots of marigolds and cosmos. Some weeds. So many weeds in here. We got some zinnias coming. More cosmos down there. So cute. A pink zinnia. Orange and yellow cosmos. Ooh, a bright red zinnia. Some of these sunflowers get bigger as we get down here. This one has bloomed, but had a little issues. Not sure what happened there, but it's like half of it was ready to go, but the other half was not. See, some more strawberries. Is that because they're not been pollinated? I'll still eat them, but they're not as pretty as I would hope. Alright, these are my cantaloupe over here. These are always super slow going, but I always get a couple right at the end of the season. And it might seem silly to grow a whole bed of them just for a couple little cantaloupe, and that's the worst. The worst thing that... Is that a sunflower? Cantaloupe seem to be the thing that the critters target the most. Of course, the thing that you don't get much of. But still worth it. I'm trying to look for a baby cantaloupe. They have... That might be one. The base of the flowers. Oh, here we go. Maybe? Base of the flowers, there's that little ball that tells you where the cantaloupes are. Thought I saw more. Maybe it was over here. Hard to tell. Wow, there's a lot of blossoms. Interesting. I think I got the wrong flowers. Here's my one green onion. Oh, I guess I gotta harvest this one. It's starting to split. The wind in the last storms really took it out. Maybe I should just pull this. I got distracted and ended up weeding. I'm gonna pull this guy out. Watch me screw up all the roots of all these other ones. Stay. You're okay. Alright. See what I can do with that guy. This is what I do with, I don't cook with onions very much, mostly just onion powder. But I do cook with these, so I gotta figure out what I want to do for onions next year too. I want to try real onions, but I will not use. I could make onion powder, I guess, but I do not have a dehydrator. So, well, I do not have a freeze dryer. I have a dehydrator, but we'll see. But that's what we got. Got one for the year anyway. Here we go. All right, guys, that is it for the garden this week. Today, I'll go back and harvest what I missed. But that's about it. Like I said, little less enthusiastic this time around. It's still great. It's still getting me food. I'm kind of disappointed how little zucchini I've gotten so far this year. I've only gotten like 3, I think. They're just not heavily producing. So it's already August. They should have really started by now. But we'll see. Maybe in the next couple weeks I'll get some more. But patty pans are holding their weight. Cucumbers are doing good. Green beans are okay. But I don't know, guys. We'll see what the next few weeks brings, and hopefully the next one will be a little bit more exciting. Anyways, thanks for hanging out with me today. We'll see you next time.